Welcome to a new episode of the Gen X Guys with JD and Len.
Hey,
Welcome, Len.
welcome. How are you? How's your week? How's the weather where you're at?
So the weather actually out in Vegas this week has been nice. It's been around 70s to low 80s.
Nice.
So I'd say that's about right around this time of year. Probably still slightly higher than normal, but the winds have picked up. So we got that going for us. And then this week it's supposed to cool down for a few days, but then warm back up by the weekend. So by cool down, I mean it'd be like 69. And then warm back up, it's like 82. So
there you go. Nice spring weather for Vegas, though. It's coming. How's the nights? Are the nights still cold, or are they getting warmer?
I mean, it cools down to like 65, 67. Okay. So if it gets hot during the day, obviously like 85. So it can be like 70 at night around 9 o'clock. So it's still nice weather. It's when the winds come. That's when you're really being pushed with cold air.
You guys are in a big valley, huge valley. So yeah, I can imagine.
Well, yeah, specifically where I live, even more so. We're closer to the mountain range. So I can go like 5 miles probably further away and there's no wind. Come back to my house, it's like heavy wind blasting through. So
yeah,
be great if you're a paraglider or a hang glider. I'm actually surprised. Well, I guess there's no point for them to jump off, come to think about it. So yeah.
Also, I just can imagine like sometimes you can get a little treacherous if it's unpredictable winds, but
that's what extreme sports is about, pal. Treacherous.
Right. There you go. Yeah, that risk and thrill.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's been raining over here. We had a dry, I think, February and March, and then all of a sudden we have had a decent amount of rain. It actually was kind of pouring for a little bit. But here in California, it only comes down like in a torrent. It only comes down like for like 2 minutes and then stops, and it's never really like consistent hard rain out here. But as you know, since you grew up here. Well, at least in our part of California.
True.
California. But
your neck of the woods.
In my neck of the woods.
It's funny. I wasn't going to talk about this, but you just mentioned Northern California. Like, I always found that funny. Like, are we truly Northern California or Central California? Like the Bay. Like they call it Northern California because they wanted to draw a line somewhere. Whoever came up with this concept of Northern, Central, and
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No.
I mean, because you have the people in Northern California, like in the north, like Fort Bragg, Redding, and all that.
Eureka, Humboldt, all those good places up north.
They get upset because they say anything south of like Redding is Central California. But I think the general consensus is I think for most people in California would say like Bakersfield is the dividing line, even though it's nowhere near the center of California. Like in Bakersfield is like that Central California area. So like south of that is Southern California. And then when you get like up north towards Fresno.
Right. Yeah.
No. When you start saying that, yeah, but Bakersfield is that central area, is a real central area of. It's usually I relate it to the valley, the Central Valley.
Yeah. See,
in the name.
If we're gonna give California 3 sections, basically, because they refer to it in 3 different ways. To your point, there's Northern California, Southern California. Those are the primary 2 that always get talked about because those are where the big cities are. LA versus San Francisco. Sacramento's up there too. Don't get me wrong, but that's the state capital. And San Diego, of course, not to totally be a dick. But so Southern California to me is, I guess you could say Bakersfield could be the start of Southern California.
I would say it's more the Grapevine. I think I misspoke. I more meant like that's like the central dividing area where it starts to transition to north and south. But like I would say like the Grapevine to me, anything south of the Grapevine is Southern California.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. Like
if we want to do this logically, what we do is take the distance it takes to go from the top to the bottom as far as miles. If you go along the coast, okay, take the coast and do miles, and then you divide by 3, and then you figure out where those 3 points are, and then boom, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the jokes like Fort Bragg and all that is Southern Oregon, things like that.
Yeah.
When you start doing that, but yeah, I mean, Where do you think Northern California starts? Like, what when if you all the times that we would go down to LA for Disneyland or whatever, when did you feel that you were when you were getting into Northern California? Like, out of that drive on Highway 5,
Oh, coming
where did
back
you
from
see
LA?
yeah, like, coming back from LA, like, that feeling of, "Okay, I'm back in the Bay Area." Like, when do you feel
Probably,
like
well, Gilroy, right? Because Gilroy technically is considered part of Northern California. So I don't know. I've never really, it's never actually crossed my mind, right? Like that's never even come into perception for me. Like I just know I'm home in the area when I get to Gilroy.
you're right.
Yeah, because then I
Yeah,
know it's still like an hour plus to get to my house back then in Daly City, but it's like, yeah, that's it. I'm back. I'm finally back in the Bay. I'm now on. I'm off of 5. I'm off of the 152. I'm back on the 101. So now I'm just straight shot from there. And even if I came up 101, it'd probably be the same. Once I passed into Gilroy area, I'd feel I'm close to home again. So yeah.
yeah. And that's the thing, I think people outside of California just have no idea just how, like, when you start seeing these landmarks, it's also like scenery change.
Yeah.
It's like, when
Oh,
you
it is.
go
Yeah.
between Vegas, LA, and you go up to like Sacramento or wherever, the amount of diversity that you hit going through it is just insane. I don't think people really like. There's no one thing that defines California. Like I remember like years ago being on a Browns forum, and
Mhm.
it was back when Goff was in the draft. So this was around that time, and people were trying to make it out to him to be like a surfer because he's from California. And for those who don't know, Jared Goff, who's on the Detroit Lions, is from Marin, California, which is North Bay area.
Right.
And that area is no, it is nothing like a surf town or beach or anything like that. Like it's just not. But it was
Right.
just funny because you have the perception of people who don't live in California acting like he's from Southern California. Like that was like their basis was he's from LA. Like, oh, it's always sunny. It's like, no, the weather in Marin isn't exactly, it's not bad, but it's not clear all the time. It gets foggy, it gets cold. It's nothing like what you imagine Southern Cal or people would imagine Southern California is like. And like beaches, we don't go to beaches here. Like our beaches where we grew up just south of San Francisco were fucking freezing.
Right.
I mean, our beaches were 50 degrees year round almost with
Right.
fog. Like if it was above 70 degrees, that was a heat wave.
Right.
It's just always funny people's perception of California. Like they don't understand just how incredibly diverse California is.
Well, that's the thing. And to your point, like if you drive from, so just in the Bay Area alone, the diversity, again, now this is talking about more coastline. Central California, if you're driving the 5, which is mostly through the middle of the state, all the way from top to bottom for the most part, then yeah, you'll see changes. Obviously, when you head towards LA area, you'll run into LA. If you head out, it's more of open land, some mountain ranges along the way, but most of it's flat for a long period. A lot of agriculture, all that good stuff. But if you're on the coast, and specifically in the Bay, like you start in San Francisco and you head south, right? So say the 101 without even jumping over to the 5, just the 101.
Right.
And you head down, once you get towards Monterey or Santa Cruz, like Santa Cruz and Monterey have two different feels to them. Santa Cruz is definitely more of forestry,
mountain,
more natural mountain range, exactly, right along the ocean. It's fantastic. You go to Monterey, it's just more sand blown. Like there's a lot more sand dunes with trees, and the trees are wind blown. Like heavy winds come through there a lot. So when they grew, you can see how the winds pushed it, but a lot of sand dunes and so forth with trees there. You're driving more through sand, and it's not really desert. It's just the base of the area. So, but it's like, to your point, it's very different.
It's very different. I mean, it's just, I think that's the amazing part about California is like there's a whole cliche thing. Like we can be at the beach, in just a, few hour drive, you can go from, Lake Tahoe, snow to 80-degree weather in San Diego in a few hours.
Right.
In the same state, and then you can go to Death Valley, the hottest place in the U.S. or actually in Earth, and then you can go again. Like I wasn't making fun of Fort Bragg or Redding because that area is beautiful, but I mean, you're talking about mountain range, with just wilderness and land in that way,
Right.
old country type area. So
Yep.
it's just amazing. California is incredibly diverse. I mean, there's like just so much you can do in California and what we have available to us. It is the reason why, in terms of like people want to come to the state, though.
Yeah.
I think geography is 99% of the reason. Our weather doesn't change very much. It's very much just our cold is not that cold. Our hot usually is not that hot. I just said Death Valley, but I mean in the Bay Area, it's like we're in a 30-degree temperature range like 90% of the year. It
Right.
doesn't really change out. And the scenery we have, and like I said, like the things that you can do in our state, it's really cool. I mean, it just sucks that it's a little on the expensive side.
Agreed. So I had our crack AI team check this for me because I truly was curious. If you took California from the state of Oregon down to Mexico line, right? So you use that distance and you evenly split it. Mathematically, San Francisco is Central California.
Is it really?
It is.
Mathematically, right in the middle.
Mathematically, Central California. It is not Northern California.
Oh, yeah.
Again, that's why I'm saying if you cut it in by thirds specifically, as based on the distance or the state's size itself, really just distance from top to bottom, then yeah, San Francisco, even Sacramento would be considered Central California. That would probably be the cutoff, is around Sacramento. And on the flip side, the bottom end would be like Fresno, Monterey. And then, of course, Southern's pretty much straightforward. LA, San Diego, Palm Springs. And obviously up north would be Eureka, Redding, Ukiah, and so forth. So yeah. So people can debate.
Cutoff is,
What's that?
What's the population cutoff, since you're looking it up?
I don't know.
I wonder where the halfway mark, if you wanted to divide the state up in terms of, because the real Northern California, the upper 1/3 of the state doesn't have a large population. So I wonder really, if you look at a population cutoff, I'd assume we'd be pretty far down, like, because LA is so huge.
Well, that's true right now. Like if you just looked at Northern versus Southern California and it completely ignores Central California, then LA itself is always going to produce, in the LA County, it's going to produce the largest one.
Yeah.
So to your point, if you break this down, so again, crack crew, the northern group would make about 1.2 million. That's it. So Northern California, based on this division of 3 mathematics included here, the Central would be about 14.3 million, and then obviously Southern's 24 million.
Right.
So Southern is the largest. That's true today, but it's the largest population within California is based in Southern Cal. But even if you combine the Northern and Central together, it still only makes 39% of the 61, or compared to 61. So it's not even a close second per se. Yeah. I'd love people to listening. If you have a different thought about it, let us know. I know in the past California has always been, there have been hopes and plans to try and create multiple states because it's such a large mass of land. I mean, compared to the East Coast, where you could probably put like 6 states into California.
At least.
At least. There have been differences where some have said 3, some have 4. I remember one wanted 7 states, being Silicon Valley State or something. Basically just taking Silicon Valley and creating their own little state.
Own state out of San Jose.
You knew that was a business running that decision, by the way, because then they could put no taxes on themselves and easily just run their own. So,
right.
But yeah, good stuff. So let's switch gears. Let's talk about the big news this week. The successful mission of Artemis II. Last time
it was fake.
Anyway, last time we actually had a manned crew go out there, I think I was just turning 1. It's December of 72 was the last time we had an Apollo mission out there. Outside of that, that's how long it's been. So, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? What's your feelings about? Did you even watch the return to Earth?
I watched the launch, the return, the feeds. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it's just one of those things that it was almost surreal that we actually did it. It almost felt like it was going to be one of those things that kind of always seems to happen, like something generally just. I mean, there's of course a science behind it, and the reasons why we're going up there. But just the idea that it's just something really cool that the U.S. has done. It's kind of refreshing to see something like this. This is, and again, people in the scientific community, have their own perspective, but just us as lay people, it's just one of those things. It's just fucking amazing to see. And it's even more amazing to see, the flat earthers and the deniers, just their heads exploding. But by the way,
were they though?
Oh, they were. Well, no, I think the funny part is it was almost somebody had said it about the silence was deafening, about how they actually had people doing live streams and trying to debunk it while it was happening, and it just was showing the complete ignorance and lack of any type of understanding. But
I mean, honestly, if I'm a flat earther, I could easily sell you as why it's still flat.
I know, but the thing is, what's crazy is that they try to actually use logic and reason for why it's not possible. But I mean, it's sticking to the positives about it. Yeah, I mean, I think it. When you see the thing about the bright spot on the moon and just the pictures that we're getting from it, it's just awesome. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's just really cool to see. I mean, it's the type of thing that it just reminds you of what humans are capable of doing when they actually try to do something positive.
Right.
In my opinion, it's just one of the, we did it before, but what we're trying to achieve now, I mean, there's a lot of it to be able to continue to be able to do manned mission to Mars, trying to do other things on the moon and so on. It's really cool that we're actually not just, saying, oh, we're just going to focus here on Earth, that, we're actually trying to push the envelope and explore more again. It's just, I think that's one of the, people always say it's one of the basic things of being human is, exploration. And us, going out there pushing it again. It's just, like I said, I just think it's really awesome.
Right. Well, and I agree. I think the most exciting part for me was the fact that they're going around and with today's technology around imaging and whatnot that they can provide back, that was some of the most impressive stuff. Specifically, even, and we talked about this offline, was more about the dark side of the moon. The moon itself never rotates, so we always see the same face of the moon from Earth. That's just how it is. But what does the other side look like? What is what we call the dark side? But obviously, when it's a new moon, it's dark on our side. It's bright on the other side. So, what does that look like? And just getting those pictures was impressive, and just the damage of all the meteors that just keep hitting that because it has no protective zone. It's impressive what we avoid almost all the time. I mean, we don't get any of these things, whether it's the moon as a protection or our ozone just burns it all up because it's small. It's nothing massive, but still.
It's just getting pummeled.
Yeah. Well, and this sets up also the future, right? The big plan NASA has is to create now a lunar base and be able to stay there. And then eventually stage from there ways to get to Mars, which I'm that's great. But and Mars would be nice. But again, if we're just going to hit each planet, we should be trying to push ourselves even harder. What's that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as humans, we can only go to 2 planets in the solar system. So,
based on our current understanding of logic and science,
yeah. Well, true. Okay. Valid.
I mean, that's the reality. It's our current understanding of science, which always changes. We know that. We've talked about that in the past, but eventually some breakthrough will come that no one have even thought about will happen. It will completely break what our known knowledge is related to our limitation, speed of light, whatever it might be.
True.
And suddenly now we can expand even further.
Well, the thing is, we got to keep pushing towards that. I think that's the
Correct.
biggest thing. I think to your point, I think there are people that and getting away from the conspiracy theorists. The people are saying, "Oh, we should focus on life on here on Earth. We have climate change. We have all these issues here on our planet." But it's like, you know, pushing the envelope like that helps us. I mean, MRIs came out about Velcro came out about because of that. Um,
Right.
but no, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, the advances that you have to make for space that it translates to life here on Earth is still incredibly valuable. So yeah, but I think just pushing the envelope. I mean, we're never going to be able to achieve anything like that unless we actually try.
Right.
That's a big thing for me. It's you don't know. Like to your point, we you know what, we may never be able to go past Mars. It may be it's likely that it could be just beyond the scope of physics, that there is no possibility through science to be able to do anything like that. The reality could be that there is no such thing as warp or faster than light, but we won't know unless we actually
Correct.
try. And I think that's the big takeaway that I take away from something like this. It's doing this type of stuff is, it's so incredibly important for us as humans to keep on pushing the envelope and exploring.
Yep.
So
Agreed. Well,
I
yeah,
think it's really cool.
and to your point, like, yeah, things will change over time. We'll learn more. And from a current state of things, yes. I mean, you always want to improve. We want to improve what we can here,
Oh, yeah.
and we should. We should try to really, before we ever truly explore, even if we could achieve exploration outside of our own solar system for the hell of it. Like,
Yeah.
what are we even as a society capable of doing that in a way that would be useful? And the answer is no. So I would say, from a world standpoint, we're all screwed. This whole thing's all screwy. I'm not even going to get into the World War III concept that's currently going on that no one wants to acknowledge. But my point is that because there's such huge differences, such distinct beliefs change, it's going to make it very hard for us to solve our problem here. So exploration outside, if we do it in a way where it's a joint union, where it's, it's not about, I want my country to be the first to
You're
get
talking
there.
about Star Trek.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah, what Gene Roddenberry had was not wrong. Like, you want to get to that state of a society that no longer, I mean, there will still be differences, but not to the extent of what it is, where there's more of a unity and you're working towards, bettering humanity, exploring outside. To your point, exploration's a big thing from a humanity standpoint, always has been throughout the history of the world. So how can we explore and get out there? So, but yes, Star Trek is the ideal state, I guess, if you want to look at it from that perspective, more so than Star Wars. No, you don't want to go out
if you look
and
at
battle.
I mean, I think that's like the one when you talk about globalization and the way that we're more interconnected, where with social media you get to learn about other cultures. And I think that's the fastest way for things to come down is, when you stop seeing the difference between, like you don't look at, a life in your nation is worth more than somebody else's nation. You realize that, you're all the same.
Right.
We're all part of the one race and one species and all that type of stuff. But in the end, it's as the world gets smaller. I mean, you even think about like during, the building of our country. I mean, people looked at each state as being like their own country. I mean, I think we still do to an extent. But back then with the Civil War and then other aspects, but everybody's always kind of looked at their state as being like, especially in the United States. I just think it's a microcosm of how it happens across the world. Is that people look at, oh, I'm a Texan, or I'm from Ohio or California or Nevada.
Right.
People look at that as almost like a nationality in itself of how we act a lot of times. So
You just hit it on the head. That's the challenge. Break it down even further. I mean, and I don't want to dig into this too much because we're focused more on the benefits of what Artemis II did,
right,
and what it's setting us up for. But yeah, I mean, to your point, in the end, we have to find unity. But the problem is, we are so divided, whether we know it or not, in the sense of everything. Like, we create division ourselves, loyalties and so forth, that even to your point, whether it's your state, like I come from this state, or I follow this sports team and I'm a diehard fan, I hate these fans. Like, again, some people, it's just fun banter, but some take it seriously. And that's the problem, right? So religion, You can throw everything out there. So anyway, but yeah, there's definitely that. That's hard. That is hard to overcome. But that being said, yeah, like I don't know when they plan to do a next mission. Like what's next? I don't think they announced what's next. I mean, obviously this was huge. Did they? I must have missed that.
They did. I thought there was landing on the moon in 2028.
Oh, is that the plan? Okay.
I thought so. I could be wrong. There's just been so much out there. And I think the other thing that this is highlighted is, and this may be for a different conversation, but how much misinformation there has been about this that has come out, where you see people reporting on things and you don't know what the source is from. And so, yeah, I think that
some of the AI shit's been funny that people believe it too. Like, oh, look, what's moving on the moon? Yeah. That's really moving on the moon. Like, if it's not from NASA posted,
I don't believe it. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. That's the reason why I'm saying I'm not sure if that's true or not, because I'm not sure where I saw. I've seen so much, but like one of the funny ones is that they were showing a spot of the original lunar landing, Apollo 11, that type of thing, and they put an image of the flag on top of it, and people were like freaking out about that. But then because it was
as a marker, basically.
It was a marker, right? But it was moved to different sources, and then people were saying that it was, this is an AI image. But even though it wasn't AI, it was an actual image. It was the context of why they modified it was to highlight it. They actually even colored in the lunar the module, the launch module that was left behind, so that it would stand out a little bit more. But again, because it went from source to source, that context was missing. So it was just one of those things where, yeah, you're right though. If you're not getting it from NASA, it's probably hard to believe, exactly what's out there.
Yeah, not anything people are getting, news reports and whatnot, are all fed by NASA. So, and NASA posts this all on their website. So, because they want to get people excited about space exploration again that has disappeared for a long time. And
have you heard? I think he was the director of NASA. How he was talking. I mean, he was in terms of like a hype man. It was.
Oh yeah, he was great.
That he was a scientist. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I mean, he was awesome. I mean, it was just one of those things you could tell you had somebody running NASA who is as excited as we would be. I mean, he was like a kid in a caddy store. It was really cool.
I mean, how many people don't want to go to space? I'm sure there's plenty, but like for me, I watched this, and once again, I envision I would like the space shuttle when it first came out too, when it first launched.
Oh, yeah.
For me, it's always been an exciting thought about I would love to be in space, traveling somewhere else, whether it's to the moon, Mars, I don't care, but just the did you say X-wing?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, X-wing. Probably Millennium Falcon. To be honest with you, it made the Kessel Run, so it's important that I have a fast ship.
But to your point, I think the reason why you kind of get drawn into the idea of like a Star Wars is because of the fantasy and reality of it. It's still space. It's still, you look at an astronaut, and we know what those astronauts went through to get up there, right? I mean, there is no like, oh, well, we're going to lower the standard for this or that. No, they're all four of them were badasses to get up there. I mean, they talk about, the psychological profiling that they had to go through. Everything they had to go through to be able to go up there is amazing. So, I mean, you just want to be a part of that, and just to be up there and to see something that, like, the idea of seeing, how many people have seen, the whole thing with their own eyes, the moon with Earth in the background. You're talking a handful of people have ever done that. So it just puts you in such unique company, but also just the idea that it's fucking space. It's the final frontier.
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. I mean, that's basically what Gene Roddenberry was trying to hint at. And with Star Trek, it was never perfect too to get to that point too. Like there were elements like he did a lot of firsts in his show, but it was all driven, the space program had taken off, and Star Trek comes out, and it just gives you a sense of like, this is what we want to achieve, or this is where we'd like to be, and it just helps build those dreams up. And so I'm excited. I love seeing this stuff, and I hope we continue to push more. And if they want old people from Gen X to go, to help, just show, then I'm first in line. I'm there if they need someone. I'm sure they got plenty of astronauts who are Gen X, but like the 4 were Gen X. But still, it'd be great to be one of those who could go.
Just think, I mean, your back would be fine up there. You wouldn't have to worry about gravity and all that type of stuff. You would be like it would be relief for you.
Just think how basketball games would go playing on the moon. Huh?
Right?
That gravity, that'd be fantastic.
It'd be the ones where they do like the somersaults going in. Yeah. You'd just be suspended.
I don't know if there'd be a 25-point shot. So, far away.
Star Trek or Star Wars. If real life could happen then.
Star Trek. Star Trek.
You would still say Star Trek? I still
say Star Wars to me is a space opera. And that's exactly what Lucas wanted it to be.
Yeah. I know. And that's the reason why I like it. I always look at it more like the space western.
I mean, you can look at it any way you want. But to me, Star Wars is a different concept. I mean, Star Trek is based more on current humanity, like no specialty skills, no force and whatnot, which is all fantastic, by the way. Right. But if I'm saying which I think I'd rather see more realistically, Star Trek is that I think we have a greater chance of achieving. But we gotta see those alien races show up and surprise us and say hi.
Oh, you got to invent warp drive first. It was a warp signature.
Well, we have to wait for Saffron Cochran to create that, which is not going to be for a while. So, if he ever exists, hopefully, we'll be long gone by then anyway.
Elon Musk wannabe.
Yeah, that is true. All right, that was good. Now it's time for our segment once again. I'm going to change the name of the segment. Segment's going to be called. Actually, I just had it, and now I just lost it in my mind. This is where you should be better prepped and written down, which I clearly didn't do, so I'm going to call myself out for that one. But we're going to call the segment Time to Quizz Len. So this week, I wanted to focus. So no sounds, none of that good stuff. This week, I'm going to throw a question at you. It's going to be based on cartoons from the 70s that we watched in the 70s. That doesn't necessarily mean they existed or were created in the 70s. Keep that in mind. I'm giving you a little hint there. These are what we watched in the 70s. Okay, there are some that were created in the 70s, but in reality. So what I'll do is we'll do a couple rounds. First round I'll focus on you just naming the show. So what I'll do is I'll just give you names of the characters in the show, and then let's see if you get the name of the show correct. All right? You excited? You pumped? I can tell by your face you're super excited.
Yeah.
Let's start with easy ones, okay? Ranger Smith and Boo Boo.
That was Yogi the Bear.
Yeah, Yogi Bear Show. Exactly.
Yogi Bear Show, yeah. That's the other thing. I'm not going to remember what the actual name of the show was.
Well, you better. That's part of the group question here. This is part 1. All right. I mean, they're not hard. Bluto, Wimpy.
Oh, that's Popeye.
See, there you go. Easy stuff.
Yeah. You're making me have this false sense of security that they're all.
No, you're fine. Here's another one. Boris, Natasha, Rocky.
Oh, that's Rocky and Bullwinkle.
There we go.
For a second, what was the flying one? That's the one I don't remember.
Rocky, the squirrel. He flies. The Rocky and Bullwinkle show.
No. The one with the airplane race.
Oh, the Dastardly, yeah, and yeah. Okay,
that's what I was thinking of. Anyway, sorry for a second.
So let's get this one. You probably won't get. Once I get to the final name, you'll know. But I'm trying not to give you all the names initially.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully you get this one. This is a tough one. I'm going to call this a difficult level.
Okay.
Pixie, Dixie, Mr. Jinx.
No, I know it. I don't remember the name. I have the image of the cartoon in my head.
It's a hound.
Right.
Remember any show with the hound in it? A hound in it?
I know the
cartoon. Okay. That's fine. The Huckleberry Hound Show.
Huckleberry Hound Show. That's right. Yeah.
There we go. Nice.
No, like I said, I can see the image of the cartoon in my head.
Yeah.
And that was definitely like from the 60s.
Oh yeah. 50s actually. The Huckleberry Hound started in the 50s, late 50s.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
I just remember it definitely had that 60s feels to it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So let me give you one more. We'll do one more.
Okay.
Judy Elroy.
The Jetsons. I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
I mean, I avoid George. Astro would have been a dead giveaway had you struggled with the first two. I'm sure Astro would have helped you on that.
For some reason, Judy just was like enough because
that's true.
There's another Judy anywhere else, and Elroy is another one.
For cartoon, it's very true. Yeah, yeah.
Games.
All right, so let's move to a second round here. So you moved through the first round. Not bad. Good job. Second round. Now, this one's name the character. I'm going to give you the name of the show, and you just name a character from the show.
Okay.
All right. So let's start super easy. And this one, I want you to name 3 characters because this is super, super easy. Looney Tunes.
Oh, that's going to be Bugs, Daffy, Elmer Fudd.
Nice. Any others come to mind?
What's his name? Sam.
Yosemite Sam?
Yeah. Yosemite Sam. Elmer Fudd.
It's fine. You got it. I only needed 3 from.
I was trying to think. There has to be more than that, though.
There's a lot more than that. Yeah, there's a lot more than that.
Who were the other big ones?
Well, you have Tweety Bird. Sylvester. Then don't forget Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
What's just kind of funny is I almost think of those as standalone, not Looney Tunes. I guess the Looney Tunes.
Well, Looney Tunes was stories, right? Yeah, it was a show with a bunch of individual stories. Yeah. So,
that's the funny part. I would think like they would be like almost individual standalone ones, not Looney Tunes. Even though I know they are when you said it, but it's just one of those things. I think when you think back at it, you kind of thought that it was just, the Roadrunner was its own TV show.
Well, it did. Eventually, they had their own the Roadrunner show, but I think that was early '80s when that came in.
Yeah, no. I was talking about the shorts. Like you said.
Yeah.
Or Looney Tunes.
All right. So I already gave you a couple, but for Popeye, name characters that I didn't tell you.
Well, there's Popeye.
True. Fair. It's right off the bat.
Sweet Pea, Brutus.
Okay. Yeah, Sweet Pea. What's the guy who would happily pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today?
I don't remember his name.
Wimpy.
I don't remember his name.
Wimpy.
What was it? Wasn't there a baby?
There was. But I think the baby came on a different Sweet Pea. Yeah, Sweet Pea's the baby.
Was it Sweet Pea?
Yeah.
Oh, her name was Olive. I said Sweet Pea. That's right. Her name was Olive.
Olive oil is who you're thinking of. Yeah.
Olive oil. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. Okay. So I actually just said the baby's name. That's why I couldn't remember it.
Yep. All right. Now, the Pink Panther show.
Oh, I don't remember any names, to be honest. I remember watching it, but I don't remember any of the names.
So you don't have one character that was in the Pink Panther show?
Wait, Inspector Clouseau. No. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he was.
Okay. After that, no, I don't think I can remember anybody.
How about Pink Panther, you dumbass?
Okay. Well,
I asked you for one person on there. You could have just gone straight with the main character.
Well, no, I thought that was obvious.
No, that's the point of the question. Yes, okay. Other people listening you're probably yelling, Pink Panther, dude.
You dumb shit. Yeah. No, I just thought it was an obvious one. Like, yeah. I thought you meant.
Do you remember to your point, so Inspector Clouseau was in it, obviously. But do you remember they also had a short in there with Pink Panther, similar like Looney Tunes? Ant and Aardvark? You don't remember Ant and Aardvark?
To be honest, I don't know if I really watched it that much, to be honest.
I mean, it's 70s. I know our memory's tough. That's why I wanted to do 70s. I figured 80s. Like, these are core memories, dude. Where's your core memory for this?
No, I don't think I don't know if I really watched the Pink Panther show, to be honest. I don't know how much I watched it.
Probably not. No, I didn't watch a lot of it, too, to be fair. Making it difficult for you, but I didn't really watch that much.
Well, because it was the type of thing where, like, we always talk about Saturday morning cartoons, but it was always the same cartoons. And, there was also ones on multiple channels for us. So it was always
No,
like,
what do you mean by multiple channels in the 70s? What, 2?
okay, yeah, 2 channels. Okay, it's
I mean,
multiple, isn't it? It's
fair.
still multiple. It's more
You're
than
not
one.
wrong. I'm just saying you
No,
made it
what I
sound
meant
like
is-
there were like a bunch of channels we had access to.
No, what I meant was like you watched yours that you always watched, and you didn't kind of deviate from it, and you didn't have a chance to record them. So yeah, I don't know. I don't remember really even watching the Pink Panther show. I don't even
All
know even what station would have been on, to be honest. Huh.
Fair enough. All right. Let's move into round 3. It's a true or false.
Shit. Okay, true
This,
or false?
yeah, this one will be a little harder. Well,
Well, I
not
have no
harder,
idea.
but I think it's more about, do you know the dates for these more specifically?
Mm.
Because like I said, these aren't specifically from the 1970s, like created in the 70s. They ran in the 70s. All right, so true or false? Start with the Pink Panther. It first debuted before the 1970s.
I'll say true.
That is true. It was back in 1969, literally just before 70.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So next one is, let's see. True or false? Tom and Jerry began in the 1970s.
I want to say that's false.
Correct. The series actually
I would
began
say early.
decades earlier,
Yeah.
but
It
it came.
wasn't it black and white? Was it in the 50s then?
I think it was still color. I don't remember it being black and white. I think it was still color, but yes, it was that early. But the other thing is, it's run for decades, right? Like the Tom and Jerry show has been brought back multiple times over the decades. Right. So Looney Tunes was created before television became dominant. True or false?
I'd say true.
You're right. It began as a theatrical animation.
Yeah.
So long before the
what do you
70s
call
TV
it?
rerun era.
When they would do those shorts before movies.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. CBS aired older animated series during the 60s and 70s. True or false? Of your multiple channels.
I would just guess true. I
Correct.
don't have any
Yeah.
reason. Yeah.
You're right. No, they did. They aired.
That would sound right.
Yeah, because it made sense. Like they just reran content that already existed. That to your point, wasn't really readily available. So CBS became sort of one of those that started showing those content that was in movies, theatrical, as individual shows.
So like the original Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, to some degree. Yeah.
Kind of cool.
At least Saturday mornings. All right, last one. Jetsons was originally a 1970s cartoon.
I would say false. I would
Correct.
think it was earlier. It just, the look and feel was like 60s to me.
You're right. It was. It debuted in the 60s, which is around Flintstones as well.
Because, I mean, I think like when you think, well, at least when I think of 60s cartoons, they were very, I don't know, they had like just a very 60s vibe to them. Like they all had the same type of look and feel. And it was 70s just seemed to be, I mean, it's kind of stupid. It's stupid saying it, but it had a very 70s vibe. But I mean, it kind of had more of a hippie vibe to it. Ironically enough, even though the hippies were more in the 60s than the 70s, but it seemed like there was like a lag that the ones in the 60s, actually, no, the ones in the 60s felt more like they were from the 50s. Right. And the ones in the 70s seemed like they were more like from the era of the 60s. So like, yeah, when you think of like the Jetsons, it's probably more like, you know, the Honeymooners, which it was based off of course. But I mean, that was from the 50s. This is kind of funny when you think about it, that the ones in the 60s kind of felt more like in live action would have been from the 50s. And then the ones in the 70s had a more 60s vibe to them.
Yep.
Thinking back to it, yeah.
You're really trying to get people all confused with these runarounds there. I love it.
Yeah,
I know. Nice.
Like I know what I'm saying. Like
you're putting all the strings together so people can follow. It's one of those like, let's start here. Follow this line, then this line here.
No,
all right.
Follow it.
Last one, I'll give you multiple choice. We'll do like 3 of these. So this one, I'll read the question, give you multiple choice, tell me the answer. Which cartoon featured a crime-fighting dog with a martial arts persona? Speed Buggy, Hong Kong Phooey, Captain Caveman. Okay, yeah, easy.
Captain Caveman.
Which show added Scrappy-Doo to the cast? The new Scooby-Doo movies, Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, the Scooby-Doo show.
I'm going to say the Scooby-Doo show.
Wrong. Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo.
Okay. I thought he was introduced before that. That's what I was trying to. I was wondering if he was added. Like as sometimes as shows progress, they always throw somebody in there, and then yeah. All right. I thought he was added separately. I
No,
was
no.
kind of a guess to try to
All
see if
right.
he was going to do a little trick question.
Here's another one. Which show included the Wonder Twins and Gleek? The all-new Super Friends Hour, Josie and the Pussycats, Star Trek the Animated Series.
The all new.
That's right. Good old Super Friends. And for those who watched it, the Wonder Twins were fantastic.
Wonder
So it was-
powers activate. It was
yeah,
always
so-
the eagle and the bucket of water.
Yeah, or
You had to go
elephant and a bucket and water. And Gleek always had the bucket, to your point. He always came running with the bucket so that they could form
nowhere.
water.
Yeah.
It was a very small pool of water, by the way. I'm quite surprised now that you think about it.
That's actually true. Yeah. It wasn't really that big.
Yeah, when
It wasn't a 1-to-1 ratio of your size to water.
yeah, like the other one, when they turn into animals, was turning into either a large elephant or an eagle. Two completely different sized animals. Actually, they turn into anything else. I feel like people know the answer to this. I don't off the top of my head, but
I don't either. That's I think we've said it like a million times over the last 30 years. The Wonder True powers activate, and that's what gets in your head is how did they get anywhere? It was always, oh, we had to go from point A to point B, water being carried by an eagle.
Yep.
That's what I always think of. So I can't think of anything else, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Well, great. That's it. That's the that ends the quiz
I would've
for
done.
Len.
I thought they were fairly straightforward and easy.
Yeah. Did you know Godzilla was also a cartoon in the 70s? Created in the 70s? Did you ever remember watching Godzilla as a cartoon in the 70s?
I don't think so.
Yeah, neither do I. Yeah,
See,
because
the thing is, we had like growing up where we did, a lot of those ones that came from Japan or those, non-mainstream cartoons were always out of Channel 36 in San
Yeah.
Jose. And
Right.
so the only time that we would be able to get them is like you'd have the antennas and you'd do everything with the antennas to try to get it to work properly. And it didn't always work. And some days it was better than others. But yeah, always trying to watch, especially any of the ones, the anime ones that came over, was always the San Jose station that carried them. Nobody in San Francisco did. So I
Yeah.
was always trying to get them. My favorite was Macross and Voltron and all that.
yeah, but that was all 80s. Which
Yeah,
that I figured I
But they were
could have
from the 70s.
yeah, I could have done the 80s, but I'm like, let's push the 70s because interesting enough, when you think back, a lot of the shows we watched were in the 70s.
Yeah.
Because even in the 80s, you're hitting your teens at that point, right? Like not till 85,
That's
I
good.
guess.
Oh,
For you,
yeah.
13, 14. Yeah,
It would,
so
it
it
only
still would have been early 80s. Yeah, early 80s stuff would have been relevant.
Yeah. Even though, I still remember being in 8th grade watching cartoons. Which was
Well, you remember the Littles in the 80s?
Fuck yeah, of course.
The Orcs? No, Zorks.
Works.
They were like the underwater Smurfs, basically.
Yeah.
I always loved that. I'm like, oh, where's the crossover?
I used to read the books for I read all the books.
So
Those were good.
for which one? The Zorks?
No, the Littles.
Oh, the Littles. Yeah, got
The
it.
Littles. There was other one just like the Littles.
Just like the Littles?
There was another one like the Littles.
Do you know the theme song? It's got to come in your head every time you hear the Littles.
It does.
We are the Littles.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing it. But yeah, I 100% remember that.
All right. It's good
But
stuff.
the thing
Just
is,
want to hear you karaoke.
No, absolutely not. But I can remember that beginning part. But like the next chorus, I know the rhythm and how it sounds, but I don't remember the words.
Right.
If that makes sense. But I remember the song in my head. But I can hear the rhythm and everything.
That's awesome. By the way, so cartoons that actually debuted the year we were born. So 71 for me, The Funky Phantom. I don't remember that. The Pebbles and Bam Bam Show. That I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
I didn't watch it, but I watched probably a few episodes, but I remember it actually came out in September of 71. Help, it's the Hair Bear Bunch. Don't even remember that one.
Yeah, neither do I.
And then the Jackson 5. That I remember. At least I remember it. I probably watched a couple episodes. But to your point, these were hard to see sometimes just because of, over time, when we got older and started paying attention, it's less likely we were able to see those. Now for 72,
You got to watch it live too. That's we were
Yeah.
just talking about that. No DVR, anything like that. If you missed it live, you missed it.
when you have to have a TV guide, so you could actually see when they were coming on.
Yep. Or the guide in the Sunday paper. We never bought
Yeah.
the DVR. We just we only used the guide from the Sunday paper.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I forgot about that one too.
Yeah.
So in 72, only 2 shows really premiered that year. The new Scooby-Doo movies and Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. Not even clue what that one was. Star Trek the Animated Series actually came out in 73, along with Speed Buggy, Super Friends, and Yogi's Gang.
Nice.
Yeah. At the end of the decade, you had The New Adventures of Mighty Mouse. So that's one. Mighty Mouse is one that's been around a long time. He was black and white, I think.
Yeah.
First for Mighty Mouse.
Yeah,
He has a
it's funny. I don't
great theme
remember any
song
of that.
too.
I don't remember it. I remember watching it. I don't remember it though.
What, Mighty Mouse? Just in general?
Just in
Yeah.
general.
Huh.
No, I know I watched it. But
Well-
then again, it's just memory.
And Godzilla came out in
Memory.
78. So I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Scooby-Doo, Scrappy-Doo. But The Adventures of Mighty Mouse and Heckle and Jekyll. I don't even remember that one. Mighty Mouse I do. Not Heckle and Jekyll. I'm sure I would if I saw it, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. But I mean,
Awesome.
Yeah, I know. Looney Tunes was the one I watched by far the most. I mean, without question.
Yeah. That's it.
you
So
had-
as I was going through this, I'm like,
Oh, Jerry.
what are things like Gen Z can even remember as their youth growing up for cartoons? Or like for
I
Gen
mean,
X, we had a lot of different stuff, but that was because we had limited access. We only really like TV was very minimal as far as opportunity, options to watch and whatnot.
What's funny is I would say the one constant that went through so I have my nephews who are millennial, and then I have my sons that are Gen Z, right? The one cartoon that was consistent throughout both of those generations would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
True.
Yeah, that was consistent for them. I mean, that's one. I mean, there's a video that we have of my sons when they were small. Like my youngest was like maybe a year old, of them singing along and dancing to the intro to TMNT. But no,
Right.
and then I remember like, with my nephews taking them to Toys R Us when it was their birthdays to buy turtle stuff. So
Right.
I think that was a consistent cartoon for them. That's probably the most. That's the one I remember most for them. But yeah, I think as kids, that would be the one that by far stood out the most.
That crossed over generations.
That crossed generations. The other ones I know my sons did, who are Gen Z. Yu-Gi-Oh was a huge one for them.
That crossed generations?
It didn't cross generations. No, that was just Gen Z.
Oh, just huge in general. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. That was probably, in terms of cartoons, those are probably the 2 biggest ones I remember. And then Avatar: The Last Airbender, but that's when they were much older.
True. And I would say it's funny trying to think about their decades. It's harder because I didn't watch. I mean, they put it on, but I didn't really care to watch any of it. But like, I remember SpongeBob, the whole afternoon cartoons like Ed, Edd and Eddie.
That's right.
I guess that's all I can remember. I just gave you
Also,
two.
I mean, you have a millennial and 2 Gen Z, so
I do.
like how I had my nephews, you had your daughter who was, the older one.
Well, yeah, from a
It was also-
millennial
I
standpoint.
remember she was in the big comfy couch. I don't remember her really big into cartoons though. Maybe that's what I don't.
Well, she was, but the cartoons back then were like, again, Recess, Pepper Ann,
know.
Tailspin was still big back then.
Tailspin, yeah.
Yeah, so Tailspin and of course Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck, yeah. Scrooge McDuck.
Yes, yeah, Scrooge McDuck.
I remember. They
or
used to have one.
yeah, so that was a big one from a Disney perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We should quiz ourselves sometime. I keep saying this, but someday we should get either a Gen Z or millennial or someone else who can come in and quiz us on today's stuff, which we'll have no answer to be fair.
No.
But it'd be fun. I think it'd be a fun test to see maybe one of our kids, because they can tell us what we remember from their youth and how bad we are with memory.
Yeah, we already know.
Yeah.
So we've proven time and time again that our memory is crap.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right. We got like 5 minutes left. Anything else exciting this week go on for you from a sports world or anything else?
Well, it's just something exciting coming up for you this week.
Well, not just for me, for my daughter.
A little bit more exciting for your daughter, but I'm just saying for you, she's not here. So for you,
yes, next weekend. That's right. Yeah. My daughter's getting married. It's a big moment.
Very big moment. Excited?
Yes, I am, but I'm also, I don't know, excited, but
you're torn.
It's just
at least she's married.
He's a great guy. Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Totally agree. That's important.
That makes it easy.
Exactly.
Easier, let's just say. It kind of relieves the sting a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a life change, right? Like as a parent, these are going to happen, and you're happy for them. I clearly am. I'm happy for them. How she found someone she truly loves, and that they're getting married. And it's going to be great. It'll be fun. It'll be fun just to vent with everyone and just seeing family and whatnot. So I'm definitely excited for her and kind of what they're going to do past that. I think for me, my hesitation is more like I know I'm going to feel more when the day actually hits.
Oh, yeah.
So, we'll see how that day goes. But it will be fun. But yeah, we have that this weekend, which you'll be joining us on. So you'll be out here. Maybe we'll try and do a show together in person. Not sure.
I was telling everybody there, obviously, we're probably going to be just doing whatever. We'll just be there for the wedding, and like my in-laws are flying out with us, but they're going to be doing their gaming stuff, so we're not really sure what we're doing. But I was like, just be open for anything. And then I kind of made the comment. It's like, well, my wife said something to the effect of like that you specifically are going to be busy. I'm like, he's not doing shit. His wife is. His wife, he's just.
What are you talking about? I have to go to. I'm part of the rehearsals and stuff.
You have to learn how to walk down the aisle with her and hand her off to somebody. That's your
timing's important. Timing's important. What if I screwed up? What if I step before her or step too late? Or go too fast. Go too fast.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to just like don't hurt your back or anything this week, and
Sorry, I can always pull a cane out. Worst case, I'll use a cane.
Hey, I can get her in trouble. She's a pharmacist. You can just make sure she gives you the really good stuff.
Give me some access to cocaine. That'll make you work real well. Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Access to the good stuff. Numbing effects. Happy face. That'll be the way it works out. But yeah, the weather should be good, which will be nice for those coming out. But yeah, we'll have to figure out what we do next weekend. If we are able to get together and do it first time ever actual live show together.
Yeah, well, you have the space. We'll figure out something.
I do have the space, and I have plenty of the equipment for us to do it here too.
There you go. I guess we're saying that we can do it, whether or not we actually have the motivation.
That's exactly it. Depending on how the days go. I agree.
There you go. And again, it is, you do have to be there to support your wife and your daughter. So it's not so much.
Support my daughter and then my wife, not support my wife and then my daughter. It's my daughter's day.
Your wife's going to be stressing out. Okay,
well,
you have to support both of them.
Nobody's going to stress. Nobody's going to stress. It's all going to go well. Nobody's going to stress. Calm down. Stop trying to throw that into the mix right now.
Sure.
Positive
attitude. Your wife is 100% stressed.
Woosa.
That's not going to help. Both of them are going to be high strung. So yeah, I get we can try. If anything, maybe we could try on Friday or something. One of the other.
We'll figure it out, or Sunday, the day after.
Saturday may not be the right day to do it.
No, I agree there. Yes. Yeah. So
that's like we know better than that. Well,
exactly.
We should know better than that.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll end this episode. Appreciate everybody listening as always. Once again, like, subscribe. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube as well. So please follow us there, especially YouTube. We post our video for those who want to see us. and then of course all podcasting platforms. But we'll be back next week. So have a great week and take care.
See ya.